Invite viewers to post their location and local time. He's tending the grill by the lake, the smell of sizzling burgers mixing with pine and damp shoreline when he sees her marching down the path. Bridget Overton, HOA president. Queen of Willow Creek's cul-de-sac, high-waisted khakis, practically starched, stiff, and a face that could make milk think twice about curdling. She clutches her clipboard like a medieval shield and points toward his friends who are laughing as they skip rocks with his nephew. This is private lake access. Guests need to leave immediately. He sets down his spatula with deliberate calm, the way a man does when he already knows the punchline. Afternoon, Bridget. I think you're confused. She curls her lip as if the air itself offends her. No, I'm not. The bylaws state residents only. No guests without a guest use form. It's the kind of rule that sounds like it should be printed on papyrus and stored in some HOA museum. Historians still argue whether HOAs were invented to protect property values or just to weaponize clipboards. He laughs not loud, just enough to sting. You're trying to tell me my guests can't be on my land? She doubles down. Lake access is common space. That's when he points to the rusted iron marker near the tree line stamped Lot 17 private parcel. He even laminated a county map last year, zip-tied to a post like a Boy Scout merit badge and over-preparedness after Bridget tried this stunt before. He shows it again. This shoreline's mine, not yours. For a moment, her brain short-circuits. She blinks as if someone just unplugged the Wi-Fi. That can't be right. He nods. It is. My deed covers this strip. His buddy Phil raises a beer. We're not even swimming, just watching ducks. Is that illegal now? Bridget's eyes flick back and forth like she's calculating whether ducks need to file HOA forms. She huffs. You still need to notify the HOA if you plan to host gatherings. He gestures at the hot dogs and 4 folding chairs. This isn't Woodstock, Bridget. It's dinner. Her mouth opens-closes. Then she spins like a malfunctioning lawn sprinkler and storms back up the trail. Phil mutters, she's going to try something else, isn't she? The spatula flips another burger. Oh yeah. That clipboard is just the calm before the storm. 3 days later, storm it does. He comes home to find a neon yellow notice zip-tied to his mailbox. Bold red letters scream, violation, second infraction, $250 fine. It's like a parking ticket, and ransom note had a baby. He doesn't even reach his front door before tearing it off. His security camera caught her gardening gloves on sun hat, jammed tight, fastening it like she's hanging a Christmas wreath. Inside, he tosses the notice on the counter, already dialing an old classmate, Dale Whitman, now the zoning officer. Dale whistles low when he hears. They're issuing fines on land outside their authority, the grillmaster confirms. Second time they've tried it. Dale sighs. If they're filing this land as common space, we've got a problem. The next morning, he heads to the county recorder's office, a building that smells faintly of toner and dusted manila folders. Jeremy the clerk scrolls through subdivision plats with the patience of a monk and then taps the screen. Here, Lot 17 shoreline explicitly excluded from common access. It's deeded to you, not the HOA. Already printing, he says, handing over a certified copy like it's a holy relic. Funny thing, historians still argue whether the plat map is humanity's most underrated peace treaty or just paper that prevents neighbors from dueling at dawn. Back home, he drafts a cease and desist. He attaches the map, the deed, and still frames from his camera of Bridget zip-tying her fraudulent wreath of shame. He mails it certified, drops a copy in the HOA box, and waits. The knock comes sooner than expected. Jason Mullins, a younger board member with flannel for every season, stands at his door. Tired eyes, raised palms. I'm not here to argue. That notice wasn't board approved. She filed it solo. Eyebrows rise. Isn't that against your own rules? Jason nods like a man stuck in quicksand. Any fines require a vote. She bypassed us. Might have forged signatures. He admits it's been happening for months, small violations quietly stacked like overdue library books. Only when she targeted people who pushed back did the cracks show. What's she after, he asks. Jason exhales a long, slow surrender. Control. She tried last year to amend the charter and absorb lakefront parcels as common space. Failed by 3 votes. Now she's taking shortcuts. The next night, he walks into the Birch community room, documents under his arm. Half the chairs are filled with neighbors' faces he's seen at dog walks and garage sales, now leaning forward with wary eyes. Bridget sits at the front, bun wound so tight it might deflect bullets. This is a board meeting, she snaps. Speaking requires 72-hour notice. He holds up the folder. Then I'll just sit here and let Jason pass this around. Jason declares it relevant, and Bridget's face curdles into a lemon. As papers circulate, he addresses the room. Lot 17's lake strip is private. Here are the certified maps and deeds. Yet I received a violation notice zip-tied to my mailbox issued without board approval. That's unlawful. Murmurs rise like bees shaken from a hive. Bridget lashes back. The issue is liability. Guests create risk near public access. He shakes his head. The issue is forgery. You pretended this board sanctioned a fine when it didn't. Jason clears his throat. He's right. This is an HOA property. We have no jurisdiction. A man in the back lifts his hand. Wait, you mean we've been fined for things outside HOA control? The buzz sharpens. Bridget sputters. This is all a misunderstanding. He cuts her off. No, it's a pattern. The zoning office is already reviewing filings. If boundaries were redrawn without approval, fines were issued under false claims. That's not clerical error, it's deliberate. Jason moves for a suspension of all disputed enforcement. The vote passes all hands but hers. Bridget sits rigid, knuckles bleached white against the table. The following morning, Dale calls, voice edged with disbelief. You're not going to believe this. We cross-checked filings. They submitted an updated plat 2 years ago, redrawing boundaries without approval. He asks the inevitable. Who signed? Dale pauses. Bridget. And the notary admitted she never witnessed it. Within 48 hours, the city pulls the HOA's ability to issue fines. A formal investigation kicks in, and the neighborhood buzzes louder than a cicada swarm in August. Jason resigns from the board only to announce his run for president on a reform platform. Residents who once shrugged off meetings now pack folding chairs shoulder to shoulder. Bridget, queen of clipboards, stops showing up entirely. The silence is louder than her voice ever was. Then comes the summons. He's walking his dog when he sees the county investigator knock on her door. She opens it, spots the badge, and her knees buckle like she's just learned gravity works overtime. From there, it snowballs. Financial crimes detectives uncover mismatched landscaping invoices, legal fees billed by ghosts, and funds funneled into a shell LLC registered to her nephew. It's like watching a magician pull rabbits, except the rabbits are bank transfers, and the hat's on fire. Neighbors gather evidence. Linda, a retired postal inspector with a binder thicker than a phone book, drops it on Jason's garage table. Every tab is color-coded. Every notice signed by Bridget. $8,000 claimed for meeting refreshments, even though the only thing ever served was bitter coffee. Someone jokes she must have been importing caviar-flavored toner. Historians still argue whether bureaucracy breeds creativity, but this takes the cake or maybe the shrimp cocktail. The county runs with it. Channel 9 News parks a van outside the subdivision sign, capturing sound bites of neighbors saying they never wanted an HOA kingdom. Soon a man from the Department of Real Estate arrives asking for documents, USB sticks, emails, anything proving the HOA exceeded its reach. He provides everything footage of Bridget zip-tying, notices the forged plat map, the notarization lie. A week later, unmarked vehicles swarm her driveway, haul in boxes in her desktop tower wrapped in plastic. Someone texts him a photo captioned, "Guess the Queen's castle got stormed." Resignation follows, then charges: wire fraud, forgery, unlawful dispersal of funds. Court arrives in October. Inside testimony, Stack's high accountants trace $35,000 in misappropriated money. A notary admits her stamp was stolen. The county auditor details boundary tampering. He takes the stand himself, calm and steady, recounting the bogus notice and the deed that proves the shoreline is his. The judge listens, unimpressed by Burgett's lawyer's attempts at distraction. After 2 days, she rules guilty on all counts. Outside, Jason hands him the final audit. Restitution-ordered assets frozen, the HOA itself slated for dissolution. A vote follows, 87% in favor of disbanding entirely. On dissolution day, the old sign warning violators will be fined comes down. In its place, a modest plaque. This land belongs to Lot 17. Respect all property lines. Enjoy the view. Kids skip rocks without permission slips. Neighbors repaint fences because they want to, not because a bylaw demands it. Burgett's hydrangeas wilt. Her house sells under court order. She fades away like a cautionary tale no one wants to repeat. Meanwhile, the lakefront hums with laughter. One evening, he fires up the grill, again smoke curling against a pastel sunset. No permits. No notices. Just neighbors leaning on lawn chairs, sipping lemonade free at last from the kingdom of clipboards. The pace softens now. The neighborhood exhales like a tired choir finally at rest. The lake holds its reflection still, orange and silver, rippling out in long, unhurried lines. No storm clouds gather on the path anymore, only the footsteps of kids chasing frogs and parents calling them home with voices that sound like lullabies. Even the mailbox, once a bulletin board for threats, sits quiet under the porch light, hosting nothing more dramatic than a catalog. He stands by the water spatula, dangling loose, not in defense, but in ease. The air carries a hint of pine and smoke, fading into a blanket of night. Somewhere across the shore, a dog barks, then settles. The community that once whispered under the weight of paper fines now speaks openly, kindly, their laughter carried on the breeze. And as the stars prick awake above the still surface, he feels the neighborhood at peace, not because rules vanished, but because trust returned. The lakefront glimmers soft as memory, calm as breath, steady as a story ending just where it should.